fetus, the first spiritual connection of the fetus, first connection to life is the mother, right? And when we are speaking of connection, that connection naturally first is as spirit. Yes, when the fundamental value of life from the yogic perspective is spirit, and that's what ultimately spiritual means, that your fundamental experience of life is not just matter, it is spirit. Yes. So it is of paramount importance that the mother in the context of carrying a baby, carrying a fetus, be really aware of her consciousness, state of consciousness, because the state of consciousness of the mother, her emotional state, her the way she is seeing is directly being embedded in the biomemory of the body that is being created. You know, it is of huge impact, because our body, even our body, is ultimately what? It's expression of consciousness made up of memory, really, on a cellular level. We have biomemory. So the state of consciousness, our emotional state, is of paramount importance. Our conscious state is of paramount importance. For the child within the womb is part of our physiology. It's her physiology. There is not a separate soul there. It's part of her physiology. It's her. Right? It's not another being. It's her only. And so it's, as in any expression of the physiological expression of being, the emotional conscious state can be measured. You can see in the physiological state, yes, our emotional state starts to show up in our physiological, whether it is man or woman. In the woman's body, she has access to this whole new miracle where this female body is capable of doing something the masculine body cannot. Yes, but within that womb is actually an extension of her own body, and so any emotional conscious state will immediately show up in that body which is being created in the womb. Yes. So it is in the Vedantic tradition, this knowledge is ancient, that the importance of maintaining a higher vibrational state, higher conscious state, unstressed state on an emotional level, yes, and an emotionally intelligent state, an emotionally intelligent environment within the womb will create an emotionally intelligent body, yes, where the work is easier for the soul comparatively, yes, an intelligent physiology which has a backing of emotional intelligence and a conscious state which was maintained within the womb. It gives a big advantage with the starting of life. Yes, it is of supreme importance. It's the first education the body is receiving, right? That is the first education and the first contact with life. The body's contact with life is through the conscious state of the womb carrying that. Isn't it? That's for the 9 months, and then after that as well, but during all that 9 months, that's the only contact with life. And we have to realize that being, that physiology which is inside the womb is not separate, it is the mother. Do you understand me or not? It is very important that we realize that it is not a separate being. It is the state of the mother which will affect that being. That being is in, and that's why even in the Jyotish we don't measure the time of conception. Yes, we make the chart from the time of first breath outside the womb, because from a yogic perspective that's the beginning of individuality. Before that, the individuality does not exist within the context of isolation. There is individuality, but within the context of collaboration. It is jointed individuality. It is one. Capisce? No, it's not two. We do not consider it two. It's only one. It's the mother only. It's her expression. She has grown something within her. It's her. Yes? And so it is, I cannot stress it enough, it is of supreme importance. The mother is the most powerful influencer in the child's life, much more than the father. Much more than the father. The emotional state of the mother, because emotions are the feminine expression of humanity. Yes, emotions are the feminine expression of humanity, and if the mother's emotional state is balanced and she's consciously working on it and she's cultivating an emotional intelligent awareness, then the child will have the possibility, of course there is nothing is absolutely certain, right, but the possibility of the child having the soul as it is expressing itself in the body in life becomes much more accessible for the soul to have access to an emotionally intelligent behavior and interaction with life. And this is something which can be verified, this is over and over, you can verify it because the body, that's why we've been researched now, we were talking briefly about the other day that how kids are being born with addiction because of all the opiates and all of that the mother is taking during and before, yes? And so because the body is it's the body of the mother, it's the body of the mother. And the spiritual environment in the Vedic tradition, in the Yoga Vedic tradition, when the child is born, you whisper certain mantras into the ear of the child. Yes, this is because from the Yoga Vedantic perspective, that when a child is born, the memory is there till 3 months. The memory is there till 3 months of the astral nature of the child. But that's why you find the children cry a lot, It's like, and you're forgetting. There's nothing you can do about it. So if there is a conscious environment around, the mother, father, all it takes is one person actually, to be honest. If it is, and it's a bonus if we have more people who are conscious and aware, but as long as there is one person around, within that there can be a cognition that it's okay, and the child body does not log in stress that, okay, where am I, So we whisper into the child's ear that certain mantras which are really speaking to this cognition that it's okay, you are born in a conscious family, we will help you remember, instead of helping you forget. Yes, in an unconscious state, what does family end up doing unconsciously, because it's not their intention. Nobody wants the child they bring into this world to suffer. They don't want themselves to suffer, but that's what ends up happening a lot, is people make their children forget and they condition them into all kinds of unconscious behaviors and scarring and all of that. So if there is consciousness within, when the body is being manufactured in the womb, and as the body comes out of the womb, there is the beginning of individuality. If there is a conscious state which is reflecting a higher awareness, it is of supreme value, So even in that forgetting, there can be a cognition of remembrance. Yes? Cognition of remembrance. Someone doesn't have to go through unnecessary fight and struggle.